After witnessing the tragedy of the commons, I was even more determined to find fishing communities who managed their territories sustainably. I continued on until I arrived at Laredo National Marine Park. As an old and large port town, Laredo has a long relationship with fishing. For many, it's how they know to survive. But some have shifted from taking all they can from the sea to guarding and protecting it. Others are changing with the tides and entering into tourism instead. I first met with members of an eco-union where many of the tour guides have been fishing commercially for 5 or more decades.
The capitanes have been here for a long time. We have a picture right here of Jody, 70 years old now. Here, the money we collect, we give 90% to the captains.
They invited me on a tour to Carmen Island to experience a corner of the marine park. We hiked to an isolated beach.
We're in Carmen Island. It's world famous to go and see manta rays and dive with the manta rays. People pay a lot of money to go and see manta rays.
There we found a pile of 15 illegally netted and filleted manta rays. Alejandro estimates a fisherman made only $300 from the pile. Back on the other side of the island, I snorkeled in hopes of spotting manta rays, but instead found Irving the park ranger, who told me how the park is managed.
We take care of all the natural protected area. This is like a museum. You can watch, but you can't take. We have environmental programs. We go to the school and have chats with the kids about the nature preservation and garbage management and stuff like that. We have programs with scientists. We have 2 non-take areas where you can only watch, marine areas. You can't catch. Okay, we try to keep those places in order that the fish start to reproduce and spread all over the park. This season, when the weather is very windy and the fishermen can't go outside and work, we give them some temporary jobs for activities like beach cleaning and garbage management. Here, all the money we collect from the fees return to the park, and we use it to hire people, to buy equipment, to buy signs.
For an ecosystem to be protected, people have to be able to survive through jobs that don't decimate the environment. Talking with tour guides and confiding that I'd once been one myself and know the ups and downs of the business, they tell me that they really enjoy taking people on tours and are generally able to support their families. Now they take people to learn about and enjoy an ecosystem rather than destroy it. An area of the Sea of Cortez was once the #1 place in the world to see hammerhead sharks. Commercial fishing reduced the population of over 500 hammerhead sharks in 1981 to less than 18 in 1998. Costa Rica saw the economic potential and protected their sharks, which is now the hot spot for viewing hammerheads. Divers spend over $5 million a year in Costa Rica. In Mexico, one tour company estimates that the ability to advertise key species there would be worth $3,300 a day in business for the town. I had heard about a community in the central part of the peninsula who had received a certification for sustainability. They are the only Latin organization to be honored by the Marine Stewardship Council, and I wanted to learn about their approach.
There are 9 fishing cooperatives that are unique because they have received third-party certification for having a sustainable fishery. In these communities in the Pacifico Norte, what you have for reasons of their geographical isolation and their history are very dense social ties in which you are responsible to other people for your actions. What you see in the co-ops in this area is guardians and conservationists in practice. It's part of their responsibility as users of the resource.
We have to protect our products because it's the only way we survive. It's the only thing we can do. Protect the abalone, lobster, clams, all kind of fish. used to die from clams 4 years ago. Population clams was slowing down, so we decided to protect it. In 3-4 years, we're going to start to die for clams again. We have a evaluation every year. We know how much abalone we have in our territory, so we decide how many tons we're going to take. Now it's almost stabilized.
In order to make the abalone population recover, we're going to take these measures. And sometimes those measures go beyond the measures that the government recommends. So that means benefiting less today in order to have more tomorrow.
We decide now to try to protect all kinds of products, to have in the future something better. It's not for us, for our kids.
The only real true way that you're going to achieve any kind of balance in the Gulf of California is with complete and total participation of the fishers themselves. Many of the areas that I've worked in the Gulf of California have never experienced what it would be like to be politically empowered, or to see a problem and think of a solution and have any hope that your solution would be listened to or done. So that's the first step, is working with communities to really believe in themselves, or to listen to each other, to develop structures for communicating with each other. There's a huge movement towards community-based management in the Gulf. It's relatively new, but that's where the hope lies, I think.
Through this trip, I experienced how people's efforts do make a difference, even on the global scale. We may feel as if the only way to survive is through out-consuming each other, and if we don't take advantage, someone else will. But the abalone and lobster collectors organized a healthy approach to the ecosystem and economy, where in most other places, the abalone is almost extinct. So we can collaborate to define how we will pass on our planet to the next generations. The Loreto Marine Park has no-take areas for fish populations to recover, so fishermen can actually make a living through protecting the sea. The fee to enter the park also creates jobs to protect and restore the ocean instead of only taking from it. I see these efforts ripple throughout regions where small businesses continue the legacy of environmental, cultural, and economic integrity.
It's kind of like a snowball gathering momentum. As more organizations see the success, even small success, of these community-based management programs, then that will attract more money and more programs for the sustainable projects in their community.
I love how even small efforts can change entire industries and government policies and connect with the whole planet.